6:30, so I can enjoy this one. I wasn't even going to drink any beer. Thanks, kid.
God, Dad, I'm so glad I didn't say anything to you the last week. Because it's been so number one in every word.
Is that right? Jesus. Can't believe that.
Yeah, I think that this might bother me.
Park and Trigo.
Certainly just in this party. If we weren't here, you'd have to close down, I think, tonight. It's kind of happy things here.
Are there? I told them when I called them today, I said there's going to be a lot of people in the 6 station. And they said,
That's hell to turn 50, isn't it, lover? Sure. Hey. Come here, give me a hug. How you doing?
Of the armband. This is an hour of mourning. And some of us have not yet experienced the age of 30. Most of us have experienced the age of 40. But there are damn few of us that have reached the age of 50. And in about, give or take 4 hours, Bunk, Roy Lee, whatever you want to call him, Popo, will pass from middle age to an elder statesman.
That's the Twilight Zone?
Yeah. They tell you after the age of 40 that your eyes start to go, your knees start to go. But after the age of 50, you enter the metallic age. That's a little silver in your hair, a lot of gold in your teeth, and a bunch of lead in your ass. And I think we're going to see this come next fall. I would guess that we will sleep in later. We will quit hunting earlier in the day. Bunk will stand a whole lot more, if that's possible. And the one I really feel the most sorry for is Valois, because tomorrow she will wake up an attractive middle-aged lady sleeping next to an old man. Bunk, you guys start. Bunk and Valois,
We'll go a table at a time, guys. They're going to start buffet style. Food's all back there, and just kind of wait your turn.
What kind of a deal is this?
he's tied up. He can't get it off.
I mean, when you're tied, you're tied. Yeah, you're lucky I And we have to see salt and pepper.
Smile gave it away.
Yeah, I can believe it. I've never done anything wrong, so I have to clear
Anybody down there see Current? Tell us to get our keister down here.
Oh, I got a hook on it. Oh, the dark. Right.
All right, now we'd like to know, just to be a little different, as long as this is such a momentous occasion like this, rather than just singing happy birthday, stop and think for a second, what do you suppose the Bucks do when they have a happy birthday? No, of course you wouldn't think about that, it'd be dumb as hell, but it's just, dear do communicate. Of course they do, and what we'd like to do is, we promised you a band. Hey, we're going to have a band here. Now, I got to have some help. I got to have some young, vibrant, good-looking people, so most of you relax. We're going to get you elected. Tara up here. Just get behind me here. I'm leading the show, so you stand behind me. I got to have Eddie and Nick, and Brad and Brian, and Polly.
All right, Bob, come on.
Larry must have shot a buck. He's smoking a cigar.
Now the reason, I got 7 here? 4, 6, 7. We got to divvy it up so we got boys and girls kind of separated because that's important.
We'll just be Brian and Brad. No, are you kidding?
Now the reason for the, hang on for that damn thing.
Okay.
The young and vibrant and nice-looking folks is you've got to have lots of vitality to take your show on the road. And I fully expect this band is probably going to be on little Good Morning America, Johnny Carson, Fluffy's Gorilla House right on. Now what we got is a little communication system with the deer, and I'll just explain real quickly what each of these are. A grunt call is a call that a buck would make who is hanging around a doe in estrus, a doe who is ready, a horny buck kind of a call. This one is just operated like this. Incidentally, that horny buck call we hear coming from the bunkhouse.
That's not, for the guys that don't know the bunkhouse, that's not our house, that's out behind the hut.
As I give you this call and show you how to use it, I want you to give me just a little jingle bells, jingle bells. That's enough. This is the, shut up now. This is the Special Olympics part of it. Antlers, of course, the deer antlers, 2 bucks sparring, doing their thing over a doe who is receptive, and hopefully what you do is you call in another buck who's going to jump into the action while he's doing sparring. And just a little rattle like this. So I need a little jingle bells like that. Now this is an alarm sound, the snort, of course, you know, they all take off running. Now jingle bell, jingle bells. Okay, this next one now is the real McCoy. This is a really good grunt call, a grunt tube call, same kind of a thing, but just a little. Jingle bells, jingle bells. Okay, a fawn distress call, a little bleat kind of a thing. Now, this is a rattling bag, and the idea here is you're trying to make the same sound the Brad's going to make without getting your hands wild and crazy. You kind of give it a little like this. So that's the jingle bells, jingle bells. Okay, the last one is another grunt call, and I think the maker of this grunt call had been making duck calls first because it's not very good. Little jingle bells for that other end. No other end.
Just open on the other end. There you go.
While we start the background for the little happy birthday, we got to get the jingle bells, jingle all the way. Now, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and 3. Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Hey! Baby's going on the road. Okay, now it's going to be happy birthday with you singing. Don't you dare sing. We're just playing. Just background. On the 3. 1 and a 2 and a happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Bob. Happy birthday to you. Practice at 7 in the morning. Well, I was going to get you up here about it, bring this picture. It was a big any time now. We're ready.
You need a fire truck.
Do I have to hold it
His
for
turn is coming, isn't it?
a good year just to get a buck?
Babe. Don't pull the frosting. Whoa!
I want to, first of all, thank all of you, young and old. Oh, God. I promised myself I wasn't going to use that word. I'm sorry. Anyway, thank all of you for coming. And before we get started with tonight, I'd like all of us to give Tim and his wife Connie a big hand for a fine meal, fine cake, and a fine place to have a fine meal. Earlier, you know, we're going to have a special show here tonight for this special occasion. We had the band. And we also thought that it would be nice to have an expert, a professional speaker, an authority of whitetail hunting, because many of us are associated with whitetail hunting. And Ed went to quite a bit of work. He contacted some very prominent people in this field. I'm not kidding. I got a list of people here he called. I didn't know all of these guys personally, or I've read a little bit about them. Russell Thornberry, of course, is a very noted expert from Alberta, Canada. And John Wooders out of Texas, probably one of the finest experts in the state of Texas. Larry Benoit, we've read lots of stories about Larry Benoit in the mountains of Maine. A lot of bullshit, we've read a lot of it. Gene Wenzel out of Montana, one of the most noted bow hunters in the nation. And we contacted these guys, and they said, sure, we'd be glad to come up. Told them what the situation is. They said, why are you calling us when you have in your own backyard probably one of the most noted authorities on whitetail deer? And he said, they all said, get little Eddie Whitetail. I said, he lives right by you. So, ladies and gentlemen, from a little remote spot in Red Lake Swamp, in the wilds of Wascott, please make welcome little Eddie Whitetail. Right? Just a second, you're a little shy here. Oh, Eddie!
God.
Now, I have to explain something here. This guy is a very well-known authority in his field. We have to be left field or... Anyway, now listen, he is in shock. You see, yesterday I was in conversation with little Eddie here, and he asked how our deer season went, and I explained pretty much day by day how things progressed. And he is in total shock because he cannot believe that anybody that can put on orange clothing, carry a rifle into the woods, can see 3 bucks in one drive and not kill any of them. Now, if you must understand, an expert is a person that has answers to all questions. Now, this man is so sharp that he has questions to answers before he's heard them. Now, I have a series here. Now, listen, this is no kidding. I have written down a series of answers, and I've kept them sealed in a manila envelope, sealed with dough and heat lure, kept under the buck tap or the barrel tap at the shack, so nobody has seen these until now, especially him. And I have a series here, and I'd like to start with number 1. I guess that's appropriate. Bang, bang, bang! Bang, bang, bang! Bang, bang, bang! Are you there?
Bang, bang, bang! Bang, bang, bang! Bang, bang, bang! What would a noise possibly be surrounding Gerald Olson? If it is surrounding Gerald Olson, all those around him take the safety off. There's at least 1 buck coming by and maybe 3 or 4. What could also be a noise surrounding Brad Olson? Those around him scatter. You're going to have to drag a buck. If you don't have your tag used, you're going to have to put your tag on a buck shot 11 times from end to end.
Hey, Mike, I want to pick you up. I mean, this guy's all right. Just going along for the ride.
Just going along for the ride.
I just said that.
Thank you. Describe what Lover Always has been doing for the last few years.
Wow! Look at the size of that spike.
Wow, look at the size of that spike. What did Ma say the first time she changed Bunks' diaper?
He has not seen these ahead of time.
Also, what did Marilyn Fleming say when she saw Jack working on the skating rink? Would also have been, what was the noise uttered down by the big bobber towards some young man from Eau Claire this last year?
There's several questions to these answers I can see. Brad and Brian.
Brad and Brian. What is the young guy's only hope of ever shooting more bucks than the old guys at the shack?
Oh, even gets a little, wow, shit his pants.
Shit his pants. What did Kim do when he bent over and grabbed Ronnie's buck and it took off running?
I do that better than he does, and he's got a bigger nose.
What is the common reaction to John Bunks' big buck stories?
Red hair, purple purple face, and great amounts of profanity.
Red hair, purple face, great amount of profanity. Described Sean Gurman the first morning when some son of a bitch beat him to his stand.
Bang! Yahoo! Puff, puff, puff. Bang! Yahoo! Puff, puff, puff.
Bang! Yahoo! Puff, puff, puff. Bang! Yahoo! Puff, puff, puff. Describe an annual monotonous noise surrounding Ed Kofel during deer season.
Wonder why this one was underlined. Just ask Taylor.
Just ask Taylor.
Oops, shape up.
What do the guys at the hunting shack do if they want to get an honest answer about how many bucks Tim has shot at and missed?
Kiss ass, choke neck.
Kiss ass, choke neck. What did Ronnie want to do to Ed and Kim when they let his buck get away?
Morning asthma attack.
That's an easy one. Morning asthma attack. Describe what happens to Jack when he goes out drinking at Pips with the boys and has to get out of bed the next morning to go to deer.
That was a piece of cake.
Deadly tracker.
Deadly tracker. How would you describe a guy who is tracking the blood trail left by someone else having drugged their buck out backwards toward the gut pile, and all the while telling the young man who had just shot at and thought he hit a buck, hang in there, Jack, with him bleeding this much, we're bound to catch up. That was fun.
It is no surprise that he's reached 50. The eyes go after the hearing and the knees, you know. Where am I? Yahoo! Oh, yahoo!
Yoo-hoo! Oh, yoo-hoo! What kind of outdoor call does Dick Turcotte make to stop a running buck in his tracks?
Nubbin buck.
Nubbin buck. How does Tara describe Barry?
Swollen neck. Scrape under oak in bait shop yard. Rubs on spruce tree in yard.
I can't repeat all that. Describe Ed Block's demeanor the last year. That says it damn well better belong to Ed, too.
Ha! That's not even a legal spike.
Ha! That's not even a legal spite. What was Ma overheard saying about Orrin?
That's your point.
Powder burn buck. Splinters in hand.
Powder burn buck, splinters in hand. How would you describe the six-pointer that Stan shot at 4 paces as it was nuzzling him? Describe what happened to Stan when he tried to make a pump out of his bolt action.
Sleep till 9, watch cartoons, and wait for Jerry Olson.
Sleep till 9, watch cartoons, and wait for Jerry Olson. Describe how Bill Milkovich got his buck the first day.
Marital discord over shooting a big buck.
Marital discord over shooting big buck. Why is Barb babysitting when Kim is hunting?
Polishing his horn.
Polishing his horn. What does a bait shop operator probably do when he tells the guy he's going to check minnow traps?
Perpetual rut.
Perpetual rut. How do the gals in Grandview and River Falls describe Dame Bunks?
Friends of the animals.
Friends of the animals. Describe a hunting establishment that hunts on a private 120 acres, feeds the deer corn all year, has $8 before the deer season starts, 11 after they start, 6 on filled tags. That's Fred Hennessy.
I have the final
Yay.
answer. Extremely deep snow, extremely cold weather, very high winter severity index, you'll never get through this, massive deer losses.
How am I going to get a good year's worth of sleep and hunt all day, all 9 days next year?
Well, there it is, folks. I told you. These other 4 gentlemen could not have carried this through any. Thank you. Famous people, and sometimes not so famous people, have probably been known for things they have said, many times more than things they have done. And I think with the Hunting Shack crew, it's no exception. For example, if you were to hear someone say, well, hi, Mr. Ed, and it was very, 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 very good, there would be no doubt as to who we were talking about. And we have numerous other people that the same situation, the same thing applies to. For example, if you were hunting with or near the Hunting Shack crew and you were within, somewhere near a quarter of a mile from being through the drive, and you would hear a voice up ahead of you say, honest lover, I haven't been sitting behind the spruce tree for a half an hour waiting for the drive to get done. I just got done. You probably know who that was. There's another fella that is noted for his good speaking, very articulate. And one evening at dinner, he jumped up from the table to criticize Gerald Olson for tuning up for the Lucas Olympics. And he said, you're a epitome of a pig. Now, if you render out about 3 quarts of beer out of his tongue, he told him he was an epitome of a pig. Now, I'm not a biologist, but I've never seen a pig's epitome, so I don't even know what the guy was talking about. If you would have been down in the Wascott area here, this last season and been on your stand and nice and quiet, you might have heard the following phrase. Sure, fellow sportsmen, I'll be more than delighted to share my opening day tree stand with you. Come on aboard. And I heard this one myself, and it came from 2 of our younger hunters. I was out checking the skating rink at about 3:45, and the car pulls in, and it was very quiet, and the one guy says, got his 3:45, shall I just put my clothes on and get ready to go hunting, or shall I sleep fast for about 45 minutes? And the other guy says, not me, good buddy, I'm going next door, fake an asthma attack and sleep till noon. And some of these famous quotes get a little confusing. Like, just this last season, I heard this one fella mumbling, let's see. The first buck was a long ways away, moving very slow and open. The second buck was at close range, going fast in the brush. And the third one was, wait a minute. Was it the second one that was laying down and the third one that was, but I didn't get any of them. And some of these have happened over the many years, and some of them happened not too long ago. And probably one that just happened most recently that some of you may not have even heard yet, but before the night's over, I'm sure you will. This was heard echoing out across Lake Superior. Honest, Warden, if I'm not going to mail this fish, why do I need a stamp for it? Our guest of honor tonight is without his entourage of famous quotes. Matter of fact, this guy gets away with quotes that you and I would hang for. I know that he could stand in a church full of ministers and priests and say, "Oh, holy balls," and they wouldn't turn a head. If you and I did that, half of them would faint dead. Another thing, on a phone conversation. I mean, this guy can get more people to manage their time to fit his needs than any guy I've ever known. He'll be on a phone with some guy over some big job out here on Lake Owen. They're trying to set up a date as to when they can get together and talk about this big job. And the guy will say to him, "Well, I'll try to be there about 10 o'clock Saturday morning." And Bunks says, "Oh, holy balls. Let's see what I can finagle. Well, snap shit, I got to get my duck blind built by noon." This guy will go 90 to meet that appointment. You and I try that, they'd hang up his There are sayings that this guy has used on us, on me anyway, for 20 plus years, and some of these younger guys, not so long, but I'm sure you'll know what I'm talking about. About Wednesday of deer season, I mean, your legs are getting shorter or your rear end is getting closer to the ground. One of the two. And he will say, as he's going to bed at about 7:30, winding the clock, saying, "What time should we get up tomorrow morning?" Now, to the untrained ear, that means we're going to sleep in a little? Yeah. It's not going to be set at 4 o'clock. It's going to be set at 5 after. That way we only have to sit around for an hour and 25 minutes in our sorrel boots and our insulated underwear waiting for daylight. And the one I think that has brought fear into the hearts of almost all of us, if not all of us, is on a cloudy day at about 3 in the afternoon. And we're lining up for a drive. Now, we have driven down the side of this jungle for a long ways. No roads, no trails, nothing. And we're spreading out. And someone has the knowledge or the brains or what have you to say to Bunk, "How far is it through this?" He'll say, "A scant mile." Now, the word scant, no one has ever defined that to me, but you know instantly that if you are there without your flashlight and sleeping bag, it's going to be a long, cold night. This guy doesn't see it. Scant, we haven't figured it out what he means. And the last one probably is not near as famous, but I think it's probably felt by all of us tonight. Bunk, you're a class guy. Happy birthday. And may your buck pole be filled with my deer. Anybody, we have no rhyme or reason to all this, so if anybody has anything, just hop right up here and I'll sit down and let's have at it.
Well, I'd like to get done so I can sit down and enjoy this for the
Please,
rest
yes.
of the night. I had to take off on that deadly tracker thing just because we've hunted at the shack, all of us together, for 20 plus years, and Bunk and Ronnie and I and some of us for 30 plus years, I guess. I can't see red, brown, or the shift either. I'm red, brown, colorblind, but nobody has ever tracked a deer dragging out a fair like Bunk did last year backwards, figuring he had that buck right by the hind end. So what I did, I made a little kit, and I'm using a little circle of red, a little circle of brown, a whole pile of deer hair, and a magnifying glass. And that as a kit, that would help you out a little bit. I got one more thing to it. Bunk and I sleep together at the shack. That, up until the last couple of years, hasn't been all bad. He's never molested me. He's always been reasonably quiet. Except for the last couple of years, I'm sure Lloyd will vouch for this. He's learned how to snore, and pretty damn good. He can give Dick a pretty good run. Besides snoring, he can snore from all angles, all directions, and he's learned how to make some pretty other woodsy, hunting, shaggy noises. Now, what I got here is a simple little kit. I'm going to put that sucker over his nose, pack that in his mouth, and kick that one elsewhere.
Thank you.
Happened so far, so that's different. First of all, we have here a card bunk that's been signed by everybody here tonight, I think. I'd like to read it to you, if I may. With our sincere sympathy. All of us are hoping that this message will reveal our heartfelt understanding of the sorrow that you feel. And may you find it comforting, at least in some small way, to know our thoughts are there with you in sympathy today. There's a couple other cards here that you may want to read. This has been an exciting week for me, Bunk. We did a lot of legwork this week. It was interesting for my part. I got to meet a lot of legislators this week that I've never had a chance to meet, and I'm really proud of them. I am. To think that they think that much of you and whatnot. It started back years ago. You know, Bunk had a tremendous reputation with the DNR. I mean, he's had quite a reputation for the last, well, of the 50 years, at least 45. It started out, it was Henry Kern, Ed Nelson, Tony Jellick, to name a few, that, you know, he was doing the job that we try to do is harvest deer. Now, he didn't always do it at the right time of the year, but he was harvesting deer. And Kern chased him or tried to follow him. And it ended up, Tony Jellick says, I'm gonna talk to that boy. I gotta meet this guy. He's harvesting these deer. He's saving them from starving in the woods and whatnot. And I mean, if there's 10, 12, 14 deer, but he was doing the job. You know, poor Tony ran and ran and ran, never caught him. Could never catch up to him. And then George Phillips said, I'll take up the flag. And he ran another 8, 10 years, couldn't catch him. And I mean, George knew, I mean, he could run across the closed areas and try to get him, you know, he just wanted to talk to him. He was doing the state of Wisconsin a favor. He was harvesting those deer that would die. And finally George said, that's it, guys. I can't go anymore. I got to retire. 2 years before his time, he retired. And Tom White took the chase, but Tom was smart. He says, hey, we need to do something different here. You know, this guy's a legacy. I mean, he has just, it's fantastic. You talk about the state of everybody. You know, first, he was known from Hayward to Superior to Middle River, Spooner to Grandview. Everybody knew this guy. And, you know, it's like the Gene Wenzel's, the Thornberrys and whatnot. All of a sudden, he was known statewide, then nationwide. And they said, Tom, in fact, Tom talked to me right after here, sat down and said, Stan, you got to do something. Got an idea. He said, we need to develop a kind of a, you know, he's going to turn 50, and he's probably lost this instinct to get all these deer. So he's going to let's talk to the legislators and see if the DNR won't issue a Bunk Copal Reserve in honor of Bunk. And they're going to do this statewide. So we set up some criteria, and of course, you know, we're used to mile square sections, but he's turned 50. So we said we got to kind of cut things down. So we're going to take 40 acre sections throughout the state, and they're going to all be known as a Bunk Copal Memorial Reserve. And the state legislators went along with this, and I think it's really a neat thing. They've done some things here, and they're going to call it kind of over the hill game. And we've got there's some qualifications for this reserve. First of all, because Bunk has turned 50, and it's going to be for very distinguished people that have turned 50. We're going to have these 40-acre preserves. They're going to be fenced in, and DNR likes to keep, 25 deer per square mile. This is going to be 25 deer per acre. And they're all going to be bucks. They're going to cull out the does. We know his eyesight's going. They're going to develop guns that have a 15-clip gun. They don't have to see them. They're all going to be bucks. So you won't have to worry about that. There's going to be roads in there that are probably 10 feet wide. Not so much for him to walk on, but for us to drive in and get him when he can't walk back. It's going to be, all these preserves will be on ridges. No swamps, no brush, and you know, we all know the last few years, Bunk never gets in a swamp, never gets in the brush, always the ridges, always have to be ridges. Those are the criteria. And there's some other things that they're going to do, but one of the things, they donated some, Bunk takes a lot of pills, so we've got some over-the-hill pills to add to your collection. So when you're out there, if things get bad, take one of these, Bunk. They should help you. And the legislators have also developed a special tag for just people who have turned 50 in commemoration of you, Bunk. And all the things you've done for the state. It's going to be written up in all the national magazines. This is the first of its kind in the nation. They think it's going to, the whole nation will take off after it. You'll probably have preserves all over the nation, 40-acre preserves, in honor of you. It's called Over the Hill Preserves, the Bunk Copal Memorial. The car tag that you'll need is this. You'll have to put the weight over. There's little suction cups. Make sure you get them stuck on. But it's Over the Hill. That'll get you into the reserve. And into the loop. Then, if anyone that you bring in with you has to carry pots and pans, cannot carry guns, try to get a deer kill. And then, if you do get a buck, you must put this tag on it. It says, after 50, everything that doesn't hurt doesn't work. If it does hurt, here's a bottle of brandy to ease the pain. They sent the card, and I want to know, the DNR sent this card, and it says, and I want to see, it's your birthday. And it says, floss them if you've got them. And it says, congratulations in honor of the Bunk Copal Hunting Reserves, Wisconsin DNR. This is in,
Thank you.
Dear Bunks, you saw a starburst on a special dark night that announced it's Bunk's birthday. What a chuckle. 50. We know that you've had a good and funny year snickering at the Smarties who helped you raise the nets to the roof on Phil's whatchamacallit. Sometimes you moved like turtles or crunched your butter fingers, and other times you were twixt in between a nerd and a bit of honey. Hope you get $100 grand on payday. You deserve it. But bar none, while you played sugar daddy to the sugar babies, on Fifth Avenue, you were busy trying to shoot an elk with a bazooka. Bullseye. Oops, it was a mule deer. Holy balls. With mounds of love and kisses to a real powerhouse guy. Time to skedaddle, Marilyn and Jackson.
I met Bunk about 13 years ago on a fishing trip. And I had a little private lake that had quite a few bass in it. It had a strange name. It was Chicken Shit Johnson's Lake. Well, it was a little strange because the year before we moved up here, old Chicken Shit, as they say, went tits up. And I had a beautiful lake full of bass, all to myself, no caretaker. I just met Ed, and he said, I've got a brother who's a hell of a sportsman, loves to fish, especially loves to fish for bass, and loves to eat bass. I think, well, God, with a guy like that, I'd like to meet him. So we arranged a fishing trip. He came to my house, snuck into Chicken Shit's Lake, got into my boat. We're all excited to start catching bass. The first thing we do, we put a lure on our line. Bunk takes his tackle box, dumps that bastard out into the bottom of my boat. It had an inch of rust, dirty lures, and a big snarl of line. Looked a little like that. On top of that, he puts on, oh, I don't know, probably one of these plastic worms here, threw it out towards the lily pads, set the hook in the biggest bass you ever saw. The bass jumped 3 times. He took his casting reel, and in order for it to work, he had to stuff it down under the water and shake the rust out of it like that before he could crank it. And he still landed the biggest fish of the day. Well, that was 13 years ago, Bunk, and I've got to tell you, been proud to know you, proud to call you a friend, and the Foleys just want to wish you a very happy birthday. Here's your present.
Hunting season, we don't hunt, we go and clean up the shack. Now it always works out that I heard the bunkhouse, as he calls it today, and that's us young guys stay there. We always clean that up, and when we're done, we have to go back and help these old guys clean their half up. It's always a good 2 or 3 hours extra helping them guys out. We were just about done one day, and beneath the bed where Bunk and Ed stay, found this here box. There's all the stuff in it that Bunk had set out for opening day. Now, if I reach in here, I can pull stuff out, show you and explain what it is. This first thing is Bunk's hat. Now, he's been sitting up in that damn eagle's nest with all the birds in Well, he sits in the eagle's nest. If he doesn't see anything for a good hour, he jumps in the van with the fuzzy dice and beats it 20, 30 miles away, sits in another stand for an hour. And he was going so fast the fuzzy dice fell out, and he had just put them back in his box. He's kind of embarrassed about it. What? Oh, this is now retired. This used to be the shoe he'd wear when we did drives. So it could always be one rigid head. You'll never have to wear this again. Standers don't have to walk very far. Well, when he goes to a stand opening day, it's kind of dark. He always brings his little friend that just kind of sits on the tree. The thing about him, he can fall out the eagle's nest and he pops right back up. So in the dark, Bunk always has a hard time loading up. We had this self-loading clip. Notice, he loaded in the dark, he put all empties in it. Oh, he's getting kind of old and a little bit around the belly. Extra pair of suspenders. Oh, look at this. This is our plans for next year's hunt. Seeing that he's a stander, this will be our first drive. It's called Mount Everest. His morning candy, a big Tootsie Roll. We haven't quite figured out what these were. He either sits in the tree and goes like this so he knows what he's looking for. Or else now that he's old, his is probably wore out, he can polish his horn. He's getting kind of senile, so we got him a back tag. He can remember his number. These things, if you can't shoot a deer, you might as well go golfing with Bill and Lover. Uh-oh. One of these. If you can't shoot a deer, you might as well look at pictures. Oh, wait a minute. There's another part that we found with this. His eyesight's going, so he needs some binoculars to see. A bunch of cards that fell out of his sleeve. Deuces and jacks and aces. For some reason he said smear on them back. This simple invention puts this on his nose when Lover's sitting in the front seat smoking. Now this took us a long time to figure out what this is. We finally figured it out though. Got this little pincher right here. This is a fork. The way we figured it out, we got to kind of use this example here. A certain person, well, I don't know, in our hunting shack kind of looks like that. We tried to find something that looked like him, but, well, he's always got the best lunch. We got to eat all rotten sandwiches that weigh about 8 pounds. And this guy's always got homemade bread, just fancier, good stuff. Bread and rice is what I'm talking about. Well, anyway, for some reason, his wife only packed him a cheese sandwich one day. We found this fork. We figured that he took this fork, took the meat out of that sandwich, in case if this guy comes to try to grab it, he could go like this to get him. This, in case if he ever does shoot a buck, he wants to be prepared. Tapper for a tag. He probably has one in the van. Oh, this. Kim probably knows what this is. This is Bunks' gutting knife. I don't know if he ever has gutted a deer with his own knife. He might find somebody else to do it. Okay, the last thing. Oh, this is bad. Bunks had some bad luck with his guns this year. His shotgun, it went to hell. His old deer rifle, it went to hell. The only thing, we couldn't figure out what this thing was. The only thing we could figure out was that if he's sitting in a stand, a buck runs by, and he shoots and nothing happens, he has this thing, he can put his lunch in it, one sandwich.
One thing I do know is once you get 50, your metabolism changes. And I noticed a great change in Bunks. One thing, for instance, I'm glad I didn't inherit the genes where your hair turns gray. I don't have a gray hair in the head. But one thing I noticed this year, we were hunting down in Chitimo, and we were on a stand, and a buck run by. So close that when Bunks shot, you could see the hair fly and the powder burn down the field. It had to be close, or Bunk would have had trouble. So Randy and myself, we run down there, get part way down, and we heard crunch, crunch, crunch. And finally, it was loud enough so Bunk could do it. And stop. So, needless to say, we stopped. And I looked, my God, here's Bunk like this, kneeling down. I looked, and geez, I pulled up, I seen horns. And I know damn well I could have shot and wounded it.
Imagine how having a pretty good time by now. I suppose the old blue is flowing really well. By the way, I wonder if Lover has bought one yet. I can almost picture it from here. I suppose John's on about his third cigarette, and if I listen really, really close, I think I can even hear Fred Hennessy giggling. I wish I could be there tonight, but I'm stuck here in River Falls. I'm working at a ski hill, slipping chairs under the rears of nice young ladies, trying not to get my chopper stuck. And by the way, Jerry Olson, I think I found that one glove you lost there during deer season. In my absence, I'd like to show you people a few of the memorable excerpts that Bunk Coco has given me over the last few years. So sit back and enjoy, and I hope it's a little bit funny.
Perfect.
Well, here we are. Bunk just dropped us off here. I'm looking forward to this drive. Bunk said that this was the best end, and but the only people with hip boots should try to go on this end. And I'm really glad I remembered mine, so I can be on this end. I can't tell what the drive is going to look like from all this goddamn brush now, but I'm sure it'll get better. Bunk didn't remember to bring his hip boots. He's going to be down at that end. I see a big ridge down there someplace. Well, there's the signal for the drive. I got to yell to my dad down here to get us going. Hey, Dad, let's go. Come on, Dad. Hey, Dad! Come on! Ah, the hell with him. I'm just going to start out anyway here. Well, we'll see you on the other side. Dick Turcotte should be in here. Oh, Scott. Drive. When's this drive gonna start? Hurry. Well, I've been waiting here for 2 hours. You never even hollered at me. We already started about 2 hours ago. I'm done. We just finished it.
It's over with? I've been freezing here for 2 hours down here, just for one of Kofo's famous buck drives. Big bucks in there.
Big bucks.
Did you see anything?
No. Nope, I didn't see nothing, but I'm sure I had some deer moving in front of me.
Oh, sure. Another one of those stories. I've heard that before. How do you know there was no deer moving in front of you?
I'm glad you asked me that. For many years, I've been stymied about how Bunks Kofo always knew he had deer moving in front of him.
That's been a problem to me, too.
First, I thought that it might be that he started running tracks ahead of him. But,
There's no snow.
yeah, the last couple of deer seasons, no snow, he still had deer moving in front of him. Then, I thought maybe he heard crashing or deer running ahead of him.
Oh, he always used that one. He
Yeah.
always used that. I don't believe that either.
No, so I was really frustrated. I've been contemplating this all my life, and finally one day it hit me.
What was it? Why does he do that? Why does he always say he's got these deer moving in front of him?
Because I've stood for the last 15 years after every drive and listen to I hear Jerry Olson saw an 8 or 9, and I hear...
Oh, sure, and Sean
Sean's
sees a bunch,
always
and
seeing
Mike,
them,
Luke, they always see
Yes,
some. And Turcotte even once in a while sees a deer. That's the end result right there.
And I don't even see a track. So now, instead of lying and saying I seen 6, 8 deer, I just say I got deer moving in front of me. I don't have to lie or nothing.
Join right in the conversation.
I can talk and talk.
That's a good thought. That's what I'm going to do from now on.
Okay.
I won't even have to lie
We'll be
anymore.
able to talk to each
I don't have to go any further than that. This next sequence, he probably epitomizes all of the savvy that's been gained over the years from all of the hunters that ever walked up to the beer tapper at the hunting shack. This does not involve our guest for the evening, but probably one of the greatest buck killers to ever walk through the hallowed halls of the shack. This finds our hunter on opening morning, about 10 o'clock in the morning, driving down the road where all good hunters would be at 10 o'clock in the morning. He has just seen a buck run across the road in front of him. It has been pushed out by several hunters that have beat the bush since daybreak, and they are in hot pursuit. The buck has just run across the road in front of him, and our hunter is screeching to a stop as you watch there, and he has just given her one of these and killed the buck. We pick it up as the hunters approach the scene. Did you get him? Where'd he go?
No, nothing. I saw him. He went back that way. Turned around. No, he hit me. He went back that way.
He went over this way.
Yeah, yep.
Please set clock, it says.
Hi. I'd like to talk to you a little bit about human scent and its effect on hunting. I picked this tip up from Bunks Kofo. He's always stressed the importance of a human scent in deer hunting, how it'll the scent, he said, is probably the most important thing in hunting is deer can smell it from up to 200-300 yards away. I gotta get rid of this. I got a little scent problem right here on me. I don't know. But I always tips are to keep your clothes scent free. Try to leave them outside for like a month even up before you enter the woods to get all the human scent off of them. I don't know. I think this. Oh shit! This will be okay right here. This is fine. I think it's pretty much scent free. It's just a really important thing. It might be the most important to hunt with the wind at your face and remember to leave your clothes out so they're not scent free. Another important thing. Bunk always stressed he's an environmentalist and not to litter. You know, this might be just it's bad to litter. It damages the environment. If everybody littered, it would be solid garbage. I just hope you enjoyed these tips, and I'm sure they'll help on you and your hunting.
Little sequence in the events of Bunk Kofel I'd like to let you know about. It's probably something you don't really know because we kind of have kept it kind of a secret. Earlier this year, and just after the ice froze in Schwamigan Bay, Bunk and I and a very good friend of his by the name of Duda, probably many of you don't know Duda, but we went up to Lake Superior fishing. And boy, the ice was awful thin, and Duda was a little bit nervous about going out, but we decided we'd go out anyway, so we kind of crawled out on our bellies and walked very carefully, and we drilled some holes, and we were drilling the holes there and pounding them in and putting tip-ups out, and all of a sudden I heard a kind of a crash, and I turned and looked around like that, and there was Duda. I could just see his cap as he was going underneath the water like this, and I heard, Bunk, you know, Duda's going down, and geez, we run to the edge, and we couldn't get to him, and Duda disappeared, and even his cap went down, and so he was gone. Oh, what are we going to do? So we ran up to Washburn, and we got the sheriff's department, and they got divers with helmets and stuff, and they went out to the edge and went down in, and they got a hold of Duda, and they pulled him up. Duda was dead. What are we going to do? I didn't know what to do, so the sheriff said, one of you guys got to go tell Mrs. Duda. And I said, geez, how are you going to tell her about it? This is terrible. I just don't know what to say. I said, Bunk, you go. And Bunk said, no, not me. I'm not going to go tell Mrs. Duda. He said, you got it. Well, I said, okay, I'll do it. And I said, how should I do it? Should I be real compassionate or should I be a little uplighting or something? How should I don't know how to handle Mrs. Duda. And Bunk said, well, I know her a little bit. He says, I think you should probably, instead of being real sad and down the dumps, you should probably be a little uplifting. Oh, okay. Well, I'll do it then. So then I went to Mrs. Duda's house, and we're going to pick it up there as I approached Mrs. Duda. Hi, Mrs. Duda. You know, Bunk and I and Mr. Duda went fishing today, and we had a pretty good time. We didn't catch any fish, but we had a little problem. I don't know what to say, Mrs. Duda. Oh, hell. Guess who drowned in the lake today? Okay. That's it. Oh, yeah. Look, we sure haven't seen many birds here riding along. I'll tell you though, I sure like this road hunting, boy. I get sick and tired of that riding, driving and walking the woods. You can't beat this, eh? Old Blue and a nice partner here, and we can just ride around. But I'm getting sick and tired of no birds. What in the world? Where did you get this? Oh, you come prepared for road hunting. That's good. I like that. What's in here? Anything good? Holy Christ, look at that big-titted blonde there, Bunk. Look at the size. Holy smokes, Bunk. Bunk, you got watch her, Bunk. Watch her. Oh, I'll close it up. I'll close it up. Yeah, that's good to have this, but boy, you got to watch the road when we're going along like this. Once I shot a buck there. I don't suppose you believe that, but I did. Shot a couple partridge right in there. Holy balls, there's Marilyn Monroe. Look at that picture of Marilyn Monroe. Look at that size of them. Holy smokes. That's really something. Bunk, goodness sakes. Okay.
There goes John and Bunk in their twilight years with a six-pack and 2 guns out the window. They say old hunters never die. They just run out of gas.
Little tape that we had fun making it. Lots of funny things on there, I hope. But something serious. We think a lot of you. We've enjoyed all the years that we've spent with you. We look forward to many more years in the future with you, and we're going to end this with a little song that seems appropriate this time. Are you ready, partner? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Bunk. Happy birthday to you. Take it away.
This whole room here. But we need a bigger one, so we're looking for a monster. I mean, we couldn't find it. All week we worried about this calendar. So, to make a long story short, I got so sick and tired listening about that calendar that I went down to Little Italy and we picked up a calendar, so next year, when Friday comes around, we got a calendar. But I got you a present, too. I was down, we got a Hallmark shop in Hudson. It's a beauty. It's a really nice store. Oh, no, more for this. Anyway, when you get to be 50, they tell me that things don't rise like they used to. So I asked the gal behind the counter, I said, what do you buy somebody that turned 50? And she says, well, I don't know, she says, but what I'd get them is, you know, get them a nice supply of balloons and some kite string, and that'll help out. Strict and clean.
Okay, it says this is a 50-year-old homemade Italian dish for your birthday. Oh, yeah, she is. She's a beauty. Thank you.
Here's another card on here. It kind of goes with this one here that we had up. Craig's got this here, but I don't know if he just lost words or what here. He doesn't want to say too much. I'm not going to wrap the outfit. That's why I got this here.
It says, Bunk, we always worried when you reach, I gotta hold that out.
Want my glasses?
when you reach this age, that we won't have the great desire to, or itch. Okay.
She must have left the word off.
Well, here's something to keep the itching going on.
Well, we have these are custom-made jobs on here for your Bunks on here.
Oh, no.
Here that, you got the stuff inside here to keep the thing itching right on there, too.
That's a beauty. Thanks, Craig.
Across 50 skiers need that.
Yeah. That's all right.
No, this seriously,
Thank you.
Bunks, it's something that can be kind of, I want to get up here. But if you want to demonstrate or how this goes, I can probably show how this works on here. I'll give you a little hand here, grabbing this thing here. This can be a very handy thing as time goes on here, though, Bunks. You know, realize that you're getting to this age here, you know, that you need a little help here to get along, so when you go into the woods and everything here and get up to your deer stand, you know you got a little crutch kind of to lean on. And it's handy for other things too. To say, Larry, get up there on the roof up there, get that board up there, would you? They gotta have that shingle over there moved and everything. You know. Then again, where it really comes in handy, you know, and you worry about what's really going to go on here. You kind of like that, and you gotta zip your fly down here. You say you don't want to go on your shoes and everything like that. So.
Thank you.
Whatever. Stories about Bunk really feeling he should stand this time. Well, the rest of the mountain crew decided to help you out there. Got you a real nice sweatshirt here. And it's got every excuse you could possibly think of, Bunk. You're running too fast, too hot, too cold, sun was in my eyes, fire, flood, locusts. And we hope you wear it in good health for another 50.
Hi, Bunk. What's new? Yeah? Oh, it sounds good. Oh, wow. Oh, Fred would really like to hear that. Yeah, hang on just a minute. Fred! Bunk! Is he ever excited? They've been catching some really big muskies on a blue tail.
What was that?
Yeah, he's really excited. Come on, he's telling me about this fisherman that's been catching a big muskies on this blue tail.
Oh, okay. This is Grand View long distance. Yeah, Bunk? Oh, yeah? On a blue tail? Really? You and John Bunk want me to make up 40 or 50 of them? 40 or 50 blue tails? Say, listen, Bunk, let me tell you, I make lures for Lee Black, and blue does not sell. 40 or 50, you and John will buy 40 or 50? Okay. I'll make some up. 40 or 50, are you sure, Bunk? You and John? Okay. Goodbye. Janet, Bunk wants me to make up 40 or 50 blue tails to go fishing muskie with he and John Bunk next Monday.
You'll be busy.
40 or 50 blue tails. Well, folks, end of the conversation. There is a fellow here in this area by the name of Shumway that makes a muskie lure called a boo tail. And he's caught quite a few muskies on this boo tail. And Bunk, because he's getting a little older, misunderstood it and thought they were blue tails. So believe it or not, I make lures, and I made up 49 blue tails. John Bunk, how many muskies have you caught on your blue tail? They haven't even been out of the box. Tonight I want to present Bunk with the last blue tail ever to be made. The serial number on it happens to be 50. Oh no.
I'm going to surprise you next summer. Where's Jim? I got to have him take me fishing.
Yeah, but he doesn't have a throat stamp
No.
anymore.
Tim Bjork, that is. Tim Foley can't catch fish. And Christmas is over.
Yes, and in a kernel.
Yeah, right, that's neat. Thank you.
Holy ball.
No, where's my glasses? Where's my cheaters? You gotta read the card? Oh, this is over the hill. You know you're over the hill when your pacemaker makes the garage door go up and down and you watch a pretty girl go by. Tom and Emily. Thank you. Am I supposed to open this too?
Yes.
Sure, you.
Uh-oh.
You gotta read the note that goes in it.
Yeah. Uh-oh. I may be getting older, but I refuse to grow up. Thank you. That's neat. Just like Christmas over again. Over the hill after 50. Everything that doesn't hurt doesn't work. Happy birthday. Bud Man. Uh-oh. This is Bunk when he was young. See what he has in his right hand. See what he has in his left hand. There's a picture of Valoy and I and the kids. In my right hand I have a can of beer, in my left hand I have Valoy's left cheek. Bunk when he was young. That wasn't too long ago.
Just like yesterday.
Pardon?
Just like yesterday.
Yeah, right. Thank you. Thanks, Ann.
I know that family for you folks, they've known it for 50 years, at least the old, no, just mom, huh? But, and there's some of us that are over 50, and I feel like a Methuselah now, as everybody's referring to us as being so old that we can't do anything. But you'll survive. I did. And there's a few others out here that did also. But I just think, when I think of a 50th birthday party, and when we're doing it for Bunks, we should really be serious just long enough to say that we're privileged to have enjoyed a friend like you. My friendship with you goes back 33 years. 33 years. And he saw me through some pretty tough times too, he and Boy. And so that's what friendship is all about, right? And I just took the word, you know, I don't know how you got, how did you ever get known as Bunk? I was really wondering
That was
about
before I can remember. Ask Mom.
Okay, Mom. How did he get to be called Bunk?
Well, he was, what, about 6 months old. I stayed here in Drummond with my sister. And her nephews was nicknamed Bunky.
Joseph. Bucky Joseph,
yeah.
I don't know.
And I just thought they were the nicest couple, the mother and dad, Mary and Bertie. And I don't know, I just thought, well, first we were going to nickname him Butch. Well, then Butch Copeland came along 9 months or 6 months before Bunk. And so we couldn't have that. So I just Bunks. And that was
Well, he's the only Bunk I've ever known.
Yeah.
So I've known some Bunkies and some Bubs and so on, but you're the only Bunk I've ever known. And
Huh?
And it wouldn't have made any difference how many there were. You would have been the nicest one by far. I know that. I've enjoyed your friendship, and I've enjoyed.
Mixed emotions about this.
and disillusions and things, and I should or shouldn't, and then someone said, God hates a coward. Well, you know how that goes, God hates a coward. So, what about this, doing your delusions over the years and everything, and you know, sometimes, you see, you're getting over the hill, you kind of worry about the other person too, you know, what's that person think? And it wasn't too long ago I asked Floyd, I said, Floyd, what do they call that? I said that's, it's white and a foot long. He said, Dick, that's a goddamn lie, there is no such thing. So I thought, well, you know, these things happen. You get to the age, sometimes it just drives you to many things. Drives you over the hill. Drives you to many things. Sometimes it can drive you to drink even. And I didn't know what it would drive someone, so I didn't know what Malloy,
Hey, I'm not supposed to be in on this.
Well.
Oh, but then.
Sure.
Oh, I'm scared.
Well, now, no hard feelings, boy, just all fun.
You might want to make soup. I was going to come down here, have pizza with Bloy, Marilyn, Jackie, a couple cans of pop, and I figured I'd be home in bed by 9:30. And this, yeah, I'm late. Yeah. But this is unbelievable. I'm always trying to think of what we can do, or how we can screw somebody up, Lover, or Brownie, or someone, and then to have you boneheads pull this on me. I really appreciate it. You guys are the greatest things in the world to me. That's from the heart. My guys, Denny, Tim, Larry, Steve, the guys I work with, plus the hunting shack crew, a good loving wife and kids, in-laws, parents. What the hell more could a guy ask for? It's great. Thanks, guys and girls. Thanks. There's another barrel of beer over there. Run over and grab it. Help yourselves. Thank you very much.